500 years, the cutlass had hung in silence, until the moment a curator touched the hilt. Nanami was only meant to dust the exhibits, but the blade felt wrong, cold that bit through her gloves, a pulse of blue light. Then a hand of vapor emerged from the steel, grasping at the air.
This can't be happening. He's forming.
The sea. I cannot feel the sea.
We have to go before someone sees you.
She pulled his arm over her shoulder. The weight of ancient armor and ghostly flesh was somehow real.
Where is this? What realm have I fallen into?
He doesn't know. 5 centuries, and he doesn't know the world changed.
The pirate king who once ruled the seas collapsed onto a wooden crate, while a museum curator locked the door and wondered if she had just made the biggest mistake of her life. The silence in the storage room was broken only by the hum of the ventilation. Then the armored figure stirred.
You pulled me from the blade. Who are you, woman of this strange temple?
Temple? It's a museum. I am a curator. My name is Nanami, and you were inside that sword.
I am Kazuya, the pirate king, founder of the Sapphire Ocean Empire. My brother sealed me inside my own cutlass. What year is this? How long have I been trapped?
It's the year 2024. The Marine dynasty has ruled for 500 years. They claim descent from the first king, Takeshi.
Takeshi. That traitor's name stains the throne. He stole my crown and erased my existence.
If he's telling the truth, then the entire dynasty is built on a lie. This is beyond dangerous.
Help me, Nanami. I will reclaim what is mine. I cannot do it alone.
Oh, I'll help you. But first, we need to find proof. The archives might have something they couldn't destroy.
As night fell and the museum emptied, Nanami led Kazuya through a staff door into the archive halls.
There's nothing. No record of a pirate king named Kazuya. It's like you never existed.
My brother's propaganda was thorough, but even 5 centuries cannot kill the truth I carry in my blood. Wait, do you feel that? A pull, like a melody only I can hear.
His translucent hand ignited as he touched an ancient display case. A sun crest symbol, hidden in the wood grain, flared to life.
That's the crest from your armor. But this exhibit is from the early dynasty. It shouldn't have that symbol.
With a soft click, a hidden compartment swung open. Inside rested a yellowed letter sealed with the same sun crest, and an ornate iron key.
A key and a letter. Someone left this for a purpose, for someone who could see the symbol.
Who hid this? And why centuries ago? This could be the proof we need, or a trap.
Read it, Nanami. Whatever secret my brother tried to bury, it's time to pull it into the light.
Nanami broke the wax seal with trembling fingers. The ancient paper held a message from the past. To the one who sees the sun crest, the true king was sealed, not slain. Proof rests in the sea tomb of Onigashima. The loyalist flame endures.
Onigashima. Our hidden fortress. Only my first mate knew of it.
If this letter is real, then a secret network has been waiting for centuries.
Tucked in the letter was a map, a red X, marking an island off the coast. The map showed Onigashima, a sea tomb carved into coastal cliffs, guarded by traps and forgotten guardians.
That is where my loyalists hid the proof. We must go there.
If we find this place, we can prove your claim, but it's dangerous.
I have faced death and betrayal. A tomb holds no fear for me.
By dawn, they had a plan. The sea tomb of Onigashima held the truth that could shake a dynasty. Under an overcast sky, Nanami's small car rolled along the coastal highway. The sea a gray sheet on the horizon. The map led them to a cliff path, slick with salt spray. Kazuya, still translucent, descended with the sure-footedness of a sailor.
This door, the sun crest is worn, but I feel its power. The keyhole is here.
Nanami inserted the iron key. With a grinding sound, the ancient door slid open, releasing a rush of stale air. Inside the tomb, darkness pressed in. Nanami flicked on a flashlight, its beam catching carvings of ships and sea battles on the walls.
A trigger plate. Get back.
Are you all right? Those darts?
The corridor opened into a vast chamber. In the center, a stone sarcophagus lay beneath a faded banner bearing the sun crest. Kazuya placed his ghostly hands on the lid. With a strength that surprised Nanami, he slid it open.
A journal. My first mate's handwriting. He remembered me, even after all these years.
Before Kazuya could read a single line, the torches flickered. 3 figures materialized from the darkness.
The Marine King sends his regards, ancient pretender. You won't leave this tomb again.
Nanami, get behind me and stay low.
Kazuya's cutlass met the first blade with a clash of blue sparks, sending the assassin stumbling back. Nanami grabbed a heavy urn lid and hurled it at the second attacker, striking his temple.
His cutlass blazing, Kazuya drove the third assassin back, his ghostly form blurring with speed.
The leader fell, but not before his dagger found Nanami's arm. She cried out in pain.
This pain, it's real. They truly mean to kill us.
Nanami, stay awake.
With the journal pressed to his chest and Nanami in his arms, Kazuya sprinted toward the narrow side tunnel, the tomb's wards crumbling behind them. The escape tunnel opened onto a moonlit cliff. Below, a rustic inn glowed with warm lanterns.
An inn. We can find help there. Hold on, Nanami.
The innkeeper took one look at the translucent warrior and the bleeding curator and pulled them inside without a word.
You bear the sun crest and a wound that needs tending. Come, quickly.
Mira worked with practiced hands, spreading a herbal paste over Nanami's arm. The girl's breathing steadied.
How do you know this symbol? Who are you?
I am Mira, last of the coastal loyalists. For 5 centuries, my family has guarded the truth. The Marine King is no true heir.
Then, the letter was real. You knew we would come?
We have waited for the one who sees the crest. There is a scroll you must read, a prophecy that changes everything.
Show me. I need to know why my brother betrayed me, and what the truth really is.
Mira unrolled the aged scroll with trembling hands. Red ink depicted a jagged crown, chains, and a screaming figure. The crowned one shall be devoured. Sealed in steel, the king's soul survives. The brother who binds him weeps, but love endures.
Forgive me, brother. This is the only way to save you from the crown's curse.
Takeshi pressed the glowing talisman to Kazuya's chest. The cutlass drank his soul in a torrent of blue light.
All this time, his hatred was a shield. He loved me. He didn't betray me. He sacrificed himself to save my soul.
Kazuya, he did what only a true brother could.
500 years I cursed his name, and he bore it alone.
The Marine dynasty is his penance. A lie to protect the world from the crown.
Then I won't reclaim the throne. I'll end this curse and honor his sacrifice.
In the royal palace, King Marine watched the night fade. A scout's report lay crumpled on the floor.
Those fools. Send every agent we have. I want those ghosts erased before sunrise.
Mira's hands trembled as she spread a map across the table. Secret tunnels, old as the kingdom.
These passages will lead you to the throne room, but the king's elite guard never sleep.
Nanami, you've already risked too much. This is my burden, not yours.
You pulled me in. Now I am staying. We finish this together.
The first rays of dawn found them at the capital's edge, the palace, a monolith of stone and memory.
Kazuya's hand tightened on his cutlass. He whispered a name only the sea could hear.
He carries the weight of centuries, but there's no hesitation in his eyes. I have to be just as strong.
The palace gates stood ahead, iron-clad and guarded. With one shared look, they stepped forward. They emerged from a hidden passage into the grand throne room, its marble pillars, echoing centuries of dynastic lies.
King Marine, I am Kazuya, the true founder. Your ancestor sealed me not from hate, but to save my soul.
You dare soil this hall with ancient fables? The Marine dynasty has ruled unbroken for 500 years.
This journal and prophecy prove it. A soul-eating crown would have devoured me, Takeshi sacrificed his legacy to protect the world.
A desperate forgery. My ancestor was a hero who cast down a tyrant. History will not be rewritten by a specter. Enough. Guards, kill these interlopers. Let their silence bury these lies forever.
Steel hissed from scabbards as a dozen elite sentries closed in, their blades a wall of death.
He won't listen, even with the truth laid bare. He'd rather erase us than face the shame.
I didn't come for your crown. I came to break my brother's curse. But I will fight to protect the truth.
The throne room froze. Kazuya's cutlass blazed, and in its light, the weight of centuries pressed against the king's lie. The guards fell like a wave, but Kazuya's cutlass was a reef breaking the tide. Steel sparked, men staggered, yet more pressed in. With every sword he parried, his ghostly form flickered. The curse was draining him, pulling his soul toward the darkness.
This isn't just fatigue. Something inside this room is feeding on him, a hidden suncrest. It's a seal. Every loyalist tomb had one.
The wall groaned open. Behind the marble, a pedestal of black stone held a crown that pulsed with a hungry red glow.
Nanami, I cannot hold them much longer.
The crown's hunger is eternal. Spectre, your soul will feed it, and my dynasty will stand forever.
The runes around it, these are dwarf-made. There must be a mechanism to disable it.
Kazuya's light dimmed to a faint blue ember, the guard's blades inches from his chest. Nanami's fingers hovered over a rune etched in gold. Nanami's fingertip pressed the golden rune. A deep hum shook the throne room, ancient gears grinding into motion. The soul-eating crown convulsed. Its red pulse stuttered, then withered into ash-colored stone.
What have you done? My power, it's slipping away.
The guards staggered as if an invisible leash had snapped. Their swords wavered, confusion replacing blind obedience.
It worked. The curse is broken. He's free.
No. Centuries of rule. You think that thing was my only claim? I am king by birthright.
Yet the nobles and servants who had witnessed the crown's malevolence stared at their monarch as if seeing a stranger. Kazuya rose to his feet, his form no longer flickering. The cutlass in his hand glowed a steady, serene blue.
Guards, seize them. I am still your king. Why do you not move?
The Marine dynasty's lie had shattered in the light of the truth. Kazuya stood, not in vengeance, but in silence. Kazuya raised his voice, and the crowded throne room fell deathly silent. Every noble guard and servant waited.
People of the Sapphire Ocean Empire, the curse that fed on your dynasty is ended. I have no desire for the throne.
King Marine stood paralyzed, his birthright stripped bare before the court.
This kingdom was built by my brother's sacrifice. His line governed under a lie, but they kept the peace. I will not overthrow them.
He sheathed his cutlass, the translucent threads that once bound him dissolving into the morning light.
Let King Marine remain as your ruler. His family has paid their debt in centuries of stewardship. I release him.
The court erupted in murmurs. The fallen king stared, his face a mask of disbelief and shame.
But know this, I will be here, unseen, unheard. The protector this realm has always needed. The sea will not claim you.
Nanami watched from the shadows, a quiet pride in her eyes. He'd chosen the harder path. Kazuya's translucent form shimmered, then dissolved before the stunned assembly. Only his cutlass remained, embedded in the marble floor. In the dim glow of the museum's hidden archive, Nanami began to write the true history.
This is not for our time. It must wait.
She chronicled the rise of the Pirate King, the soul-eating crown, and the brother's sacrificial seal. She detailed Kazuya's return, the palace confrontation, and his choice to forsake the throne. With the last word, she pressed the Suncrest seal into cooling wax. The manuscript had to remain hidden. She locked the thick volume in the museum's oldest vault, a place no one would search for centuries. From the rooftop, Kazuya watched the city lights. His form was a faint outline against the stars.
I am bound to this land, but I have found peace.
The cutlass remained in the throne room, a silent reminder of the vow. But his spirit was everywhere the sea touched. The secret slept in the archive, and the protector watched from the shadows. For now, that was enough. 50 years later, a new hall opened in the museum. Lost treasures of the Sapphire Ocean. A young visitor pressed close to the glass, reading the faded label beneath a thick, sealed volume. The head curator, now silver-haired, watched from the shadows with a knowing smile.
It still waits. After all these years,
The suncrest seal on the manuscript glowed faintly, as if recognizing a new generation. The young visitor traced the crest with a finger, unaware of the truth sleeping beneath it. Nanami adjusted her glasses and turned away, her promise to Kazuya still unbroken. In the window's reflection, a translucent figure watched, a gentle smile on his face. The lost history would remain sealed a little longer, but the promise of fire kept it alive. For now, that was enough. The museum closed for the night. Darkness settled over the Lost Treasures Hall. A soft blue light glimmered on the glass. A figure began to take shape in the reflection. Kazuya's face emerged, pale gold eyes calm, platinum hair catching the moon's light. His gaze swept across the hall, past the sealed manuscript to the city beyond the glass.
The sea is calm tonight. The kingdom is at peace.
He placed a ghostly hand against the glass, inches from the suncrest seal on the manuscript. The seal pulsed once, as if answering. Then the light faded, and he was gone. The museum stood silent, holding a truth that still waited. But the promise of fire had never died. Deep in the throne room, the cutlass glowed once, a sentinel's heartbeat. For as long as the sea sang, Kazuya would watch, and that was enough. History is not always written by the victors. Sometimes it is kept by the silent, the patient, the ones who wait. Kazuya's name was erased from every record, yet his soul endured inside the very blade meant to bind him. A brother's love, disguised as treason, held the darkness at bay for 5 centuries. The truth slept beneath the museum's marble floors, a secret too dangerous for its own time. But no secret is absolute. A faint blue glow, a suncrest on a glass case, and a new generation might ask the right question. Kazuya never sought a throne. He became something more, a sentinel bound to the sea and the city he swore to protect. And so the story goes, not in textbooks or decrees, but in the quiet rhythm of the tide and the faith of one curator who dared to believe. Some heroes wear crowns. Others are a whisper in the night, a gleam on the water, a promise that the sea will always remember. The lost manuscript still waits, and in the stillness, the suncrest seal pulses once, a heartbeat across centuries. For as long as the sea sings, the protector stands watch, and that is enough. The suncrest seal pulsed once more, a gentle blue against the dark. It was not a summons, nor a warning. It was a promise kept. 5 centuries of silence, broken not by war, but by a single act of faith. In the silent museum, the cutlass echoed its own distant heartbeat. The soul-eating crown was dust, but the brothers' love remained. And so the ancient king became a guardian, a whisper on the wind. His name was erased, but his soul was woven into the sea. The lost manuscript remained sealed, but its light could never be extinguished. A promise carved in steel and salt, enduring beyond empires. And the sea, eternal witness, sang softly of the king who chose to guard, not to rule. The city slept, its lights a constellation mirroring the stars above. On a lonely rooftop, a silhouette stood watch, as it had for half a century. Inside the museum, the sealed manuscript rested behind glass, its suncrest now a steady ember, neither warning nor plea. No alarm sounded, no guards rushed in. The secret had become part of the building's breath. Kazuya's spectral hand rested on the pommel of his cutlass, the same cutlass that once drank his soul. Now it was simply a part of him. 50 years had passed since the throne room vow. The Marine dynasty still reigned, but the people sensed a deeper guardian. Mira had long since passed, her inn now a shrine for the loyalist descendants, but her work lived in the glowing symbols hidden across the kingdom. Nanami, now retired, sometimes visited the museum as a guest. She would stand before the manuscript and smile, her promise unbroken. One day the seal would be broken, not by force, but by a heart that recognized the sun crest and asked the right question. Until then, the pirate king watched, not as a tyrant, not as a martyr, as a brother who had finally understood love's ruthless mercy. The sea answered with a gentle tide, and the museum stood peaceful, holding a secret that would one day be known. On the rooftop, Kazuya's silhouette remained a constant against the turning sky. The cutlass never rusted, never dulled, for it belonged to the sea now. Below, the museum's lost hall slept undisturbed. The suncrest on the manuscript's case maintained its soft, steady light, a lamp for a truth not yet read. Sometimes on quiet evenings, a reflection stirred in the glass, not a ghost, but a guardian's silent salute to the world he had chosen to protect. The sea sang the same song it always had, patient, rhythmic, eternal. It asked nothing of him but to listen. The lost manuscript would be found when the time was right. Until then, its seal would glow, a promise between brothers, kept across the ages.
You did not betray me, Takeshi. You loved me across time. That love is my crown now.
The cutlass in the throne room hummed once, a low note that only the stone remembered, a sentinel's ode to a brother's sacrifice. And so the protector remained, not as a story in a book, but as a truth written in the tides, in the faithful blue of a sun-crest seal, in the quiet strength of a curator who never broke her word. One day, a hand would break the seal, not to expose a shame, but to honor a love. And the Sapphire Ocean Empire would finally know its true founder. Until that day, the guardian stood. The sea sang, and the promise of a forgotten king endured forever. The star wheel turned above the silent rooftop, indifferent to the centuries. Kazuya remained, less a ghost than a fixed point in a changing world. In the museum, the suncrest pulsed with a rhythm like a resting heartbeat. It asked nothing. It simply waited. A young night guard paused by the glass, feeling a strange warmth on his skin. He didn't know why he smiled. The sea crashed gently against the cliffs, a lullaby woven from salt and memory. The pirate king closed his pale gold eyes and listened. The lost history was not a tragedy anymore. It was a promise, one that time itself could not break. And so it was that a kingdom thrived under a lie, protected by a truth it could not see. Kazuya's cutlass never thirsted for blood again. It rested in his grip like a scepter of forgiveness. One day, a curious heart would find the manuscript. The seal would break not by force, but by recognition. Until then, the ancient king watched the sun rise. His brother's love finally understood, and the sea said nothing, for it had no need. The promise was already kept. The cutlass in the throne room slept in its marble sheath, a sentinel even in slumber. No hand would ever draw it in anger again. The suncrest seal on the manuscript dimmed to a gentle pulse, a cosmic Morse only the sea could translate. It told no tales, but it remembered everything. In a reflection that no visitor noticed, a pale gold gaze swept the hall one last time, gentle as a tide.
My watch is not a burden. It is my answer to a brother's love.
The manuscript would wait another generation, or 2, or 10. Time mattered little to a promise carved in salt and steel. The sea, ancient and indifferent, touched the cliffs with a rhythm older than empires. It had seen kings and betrayals, and it had seen love outlast both. One day, a child would trace the suncrest with a wondering finger, and the seal would finally break. Not a shattering, a gentle granting, as if it had been waiting for that exact touch. Kazuya watched the horizon where the sun and sea met in a line of pure light. He no longer felt the weight of centuries, only the peace of a promise kept. And so the story paused, not ended. A guardian, a manuscript, and a sea that would sing until the stars went dark. This was not an end. It was a transformation. The pirate king had reclaimed his crown after all. a crown of unwavering devotion.